Hey, Danny, thanks for your time. When you are working with Ryu in a game like this, when he doesn't have his best stuff, what's the process for you where you're trying to look for like plan B, plan C as you go through that?
Yeah, my first thought after the first inning was, they're obviously being aggressive, so we had to change the game plan a little bit about what how we're going to start guys off maybe, and then I was thinking about, like if they're sitting soft, but a lot of the swings they took, kind of out in front, hitting the ball the other way, and obviously they're a good team, did a nice job with that, but it didn't seem like they're really sitting on it, so I didn't really have to, change a whole lot, but we stuck with the game plan, and we're going to ride that out.
All right. Thank you, Danny.
All right, Keegan.
Next is Ben.
Hey, Danny. Thanks for the time. When you were in spring training 1.0, you were hitting great, and then the season stopped. And then now you seem to have found your stroke again at the plate, and the season's stopping again. Obviously, the timing isn't ideal, but what do you take away from the fact that you were able to refine that stroke at the plate?
Yeah, I think ending that way, and I think the last 5 games I felt a lot better, and I don't know, it was obviously tough on a personal note after the first stoppage, and I had a lot of momentum going from spring training 1.0, and it took me a while. I definitely struggled for the majority of the year again, and I always take things away from struggling, positive things, try to stay positive about everything. So once again, I think it's going to make me a better hitter, and ending the season on that note, it gives me all the confidence I need to continue into the off season and get better. And, so, I think I found myself. I think it took a while, and obviously I wish it didn't take that long, but, I stuck with it, and I'm proud of myself.
For sure. And then from a catching standpoint, Ryu now as well as anybody. How did his stuff compare tonight to how it would have been in the days when it was the sharpest, like his best starts of the year?
No, I think they just took advantage of a couple pitches, early. I think they're, aggressive, and, they're jumping on them, and the grand slam and all that stuff, happened quick. So, but yeah, we prepared just like any other game. We took our time. We, we're executing what we wanted to do.
Makes sense. Have a good offseason.
Thanks, man.
You're up, Arden.
Hey, Danny. We were talking to Joe Panic before the game just about facing a guy like Glasnow, and he was basically saying, look, you pick fastball or curveball and you hunt for that, or you kind of look for one spot, one quadrant of the plate, and you look for that. Like, was that sort of your approach tonight, if you want to reveal how you went about it?
Yeah. He's got obviously electric stuff, throws really hard. He's got a great curveball. I didn't see any curveballs tonight from him, but I definitely want to jump on the fastball before I see the curveball, and discipline myself enough where if I do see the curveball, I see it up. I kind of set my sights a little up, and just try to he's going to supply the power, so I just try to put the barrel on it and stay tight and stay short, and happen to work out.
You faced a couple of good pitchers in this series from a starting standpoint, obviously, and they have a lot of good arms coming out of the bullpen. How do you kind of weigh the results offensively this series as a team versus the approach you guys were trying to execute?
Yeah, obviously it didn't go the way we wanted to, but you got Snell and Glasnow and that bullpen. That's top-notch stuff. So, we knocked on the door here, and we know what postseason baseball is like, and you're going to face those arms. So it's it's really sticking to your approach and doing the best and grinding out at bats for passing on the baton on to the next guy. And I think that we did a good job of staying within ourselves and grinding out, and just some stuff didn't go our way.
We'll have a good offseason, man.
Thanks, man.
Your turn, Shaq.
Hey, Danny, appreciate this. I'm just wondering, as you're looking back, does 60 games, when you look at everything in totality, does it feel like this was a 162-game grind, or does it feel maybe like a have-to-watch movie in some ways too, where you still think there's more to come, but you're right at the end?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both. It's weird, honestly, sometimes it felt like it was like 200 games, and at the same time, it's like, it's just 60 games, 60, 70 days, whatever it is. So it happened fast. But I think the body, my body kind of felt like it was game 200 or something like that. But it was wild season.
Can you describe some of the off the field stuff that made it feel as long as it did?
Yeah, I think, not being able to see families and, all the precautions and stuff like that, and having a lot of just, I guess, alone time in your hotel room and all that stuff, perhaps made it seem like that. And it was wild.
All right. Thanks, man.
Go ahead, Rob.
Hey, Danny. Well, once you digest what happened over the last couple of days, how do you think this team benefits by going through what they did, making it to the playoffs and having that experience, even though it didn't end the way you had hoped it would?
Yeah, of course. I think this team, we have a lot to be proud of. We really do. And we knocked on the door, and, the next year we're going to be ready to go through it. So having that taste of the postseason baseball and, how to prepare ourselves for it and being here in this moment and the season and all that stuff, I think it was all beneficial. We're going to take a lot out of it. Get a lot of work done in the off season, and we're hungry for more. So we'll be back.
Good. Thanks, Danny. Have a good off season.
Thank you too.
Go ahead, Caitlin.
Hey, Danny. You just mentioned getting the taste of the postseason was beneficial. Just what was the major lesson that you maybe learned from this experience playing the Rays in the postseason, and maybe also just like playing really competitive games down the stretch to get into the postseason?
Yeah, they're intense, and obviously, it comes down to playing clean baseball games, and all that stuff. Last night's game and stuff where the ball went through my legs and a run scored, that goes a long way in the postseason. So all that stuff. We're going to learn from it, as a team, and pick each other up and move on. But just having that feeling and being here and what we've gone through the whole season, we're proud.
And just, hopefully we have a normal year next year, but how much can you and your team build off this into next year and, hopefully keep the momentum going?
Yeah, I think, I guess you don't know what's going to happen next year with whatever, but, we handled this well. This is obviously a wild card and this whole season. So I think everybody did a great job of handling it, and hopefully it only goes, up from there.
Great. Thanks, Danny. Have a good off season.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, Shaq.
Hey, Danny, just one more from me. Where, in your mind, when you look at year over year, where you guys were last year to now, like where in the roster do you feel like you guys got better?
I think all over. I really do. I think, speaking for, I guess the hitters and stuff, and having, the year of experience from last year and coming into this season, having the information that you digesting too at the plate and all that stuff. And I think it's a little bit of a learning process. I think everybody's done a good job of getting acclimated to that. And I think our bullpen was dominant, all year with all the close games we had too, and our starting rotation keeping us in baseball games and allowing our offense to be there all the time. That goes a long way. So they did an awesome job all year round, and it was intense the whole time.